Hey, Coach, how are you? All right, let's get these questions going with Kai Carlin.
Hey, what's going on, Coach? Just real quick, I wanted to ask you about Tobias specifically. It just seems like he's been absolutely efficient through these first three games. And I know he's really been efficient all season long, but it's the playoffs. Things have kind of taken a step forward. What have you kind of seen from his play so far?
Yeah, just what you said, Kai. I think, the last, I would say 15 games, after he came back from that injury, it took him a while. And I thought he actually used those games. You could see him really working to prepare himself for the playoffs. Straight line attacks, quick decisions, rebounding the ball. It was one of the things we thought that he dropped off on in the second half, and he's back up in the rebounds again. So, I thought just the first unit, really, their ball movement tonight. And obviously, we made a lot of shots. When you shoot the ball that well, you're going to win a lot of games.
And then you went to Tyrese. That's first guard off your bench tonight. Like, what went into that decision? Was it just Washington's guards? Like,
they had Neto and I can't think of the other guard's name. Neto and Ish on the floor at the same time. We just need to match speed with speed.
Cool. Thank you, Coach.
Keith Pompey.
What's up, Doc? I was going to ask you that, like, how did you assess your team's performance? But you basically did that. But talk about Ben. Ben was aggressive again from the start.
Yeah.
It opened things up for you guys.
I thought that was key. That's two games where Ben's recognized the coverage. They changed the coverage after game one. Ben recognized that. Today they changed the personnel on him. And I thought Ben really saw that early. Right when we saw it, we were like full steam every time, because he creates matchups. And I thought what that did a lot of times is Russ ended up back on him, but guys couldn't match up to the other guys. And Ben created a lot of threes with his rim attacks.
Doc, what do you say to your team after a win like this? We all 3-0, a blowout victory, one more win, you get to pull out a sweep. What did you say to him after that? I mean, it's one of the things.
I didn't say much after this. I just said, great job. And we've done nothing. I've said that after every game. We've done nothing. So we just got to keep marching, keep doing what we're doing.
And the reason why I just asked that is because, typically you want to get a sweep, but you don't want them to focus too heavily on it
you can't focus on the results anyway. You got to focus on what you're doing at the time, and then all the results will happen. You start focusing on what will happen, you're not going to get it. You got to focus on doing your job.
Thank you, Doc.
Yeah.
Jason Blevins.
Hey, Doc. Back in December, you called this kind of game old school load management. You got 14 guys in the game today. 12 of them scored. Talk about your bench in that fourth quarter.
It was great that they could hold the lead. We didn't have to put in the starters. We had Tobias in, I think, for the first 5 minutes of that, and then we took him out. That's really important in playoff games. It's really important, obviously, in the regular season when you can do that as well. So kudos to them. I thought our bench struggled in the first half. And then I thought in the second half they got it together.
Jeff Skaversky.
Hey, Doc, the way you guys shot tonight, the way you guys came out, I mean, you shot over nearly 60%. You shot over 50% from three. Can you imagine your guys, this team, Joel and everyone playing better than you played tonight?
Well, I think we can play better defense, but offensively, no. I mean, listen, Joel was special, and just our shooting in general. The one thing I would say is I didn't think we took a lot of threes and made a lot, but they were good shots. They were rhythm shots, and so you want them to take all of them that they took. You just don't know if you're going to make that many. You can have the same night and have all those wide open shots and 10% less go in. Tonight, we had one of those nights where everything just fell for us.
And do you think you are benefiting from the fact that you're having some extra days off between games? Your big guys can rest, or do you think it was just one of those nights and, you can throw it out the window?
Yeah, I think it was one of those great shooting nights, as you've heard a million times, it's a make-miss league. Tonight we made everything,
Thank you.
Thanks.
Tom Moore.
Doc, I'm sure you thought you had an advantage with your starters over their starters, but the last two games, they have just been unbelievably dominant. I mean, could you imagine how effective and how much of a difference there'd be between the two starting fives in games 2 and 3?
No, I mean, you never know that going into it. You like some of the matchups, obviously, and some of the matchups may favor them, but overall, I think that group is really clicking together, playing together. We've worked on so much stuff in groups, the second group only and the first group only over these last 10 days that I think you can see that manifest itself on the floor. So yeah, I would have never imagined that.
Thank you.
Last question. We'll go to Kyle Newbeck.
Hey, Doc. So Washington did a lot more single covering of Joel tonight than I think they probably did in games 1 or 2. I guess how encouraged are you by just his feel for the game these last 3 games where, game 2, he kind of just let everybody else attack, and tonight was more Joel just attacks his matchup kind of night.
It's funny. We talked about it before the game. We told them they're going to do one or two things. It's going to be single coverage, and you have to be extremely aggressive, or they're going to be extremely aggressive with the traps, and you have to be patient. I actually thought what really set Joel up, and it's funny, like things you don't see in a game. I thought Ben's attacks early to lead to threes led to the not trapping, and then that obviously opened up Joel.
And then I guess how difficult is it for teams to even think about single covering him or sending doubles at him when Danny and Seth are, they're shooting like that?
Yeah, that was the problem. I thought, again, no, I really do. I thought we didn't go to the post the first 6 or 7 possessions, but we made threes. And so that makes everyone tentative in trapping, So I thought they just kind of was the perfect storm, and they played off of each other.
Thanks, Doc.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
I mean,